over to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com products, PRODUCTS 2, which is TO, profits, PROFITS, and we'll see you over there. So I just want to take a sec while we're getting everybody in here to say how grateful I am for all of you for joining us and really supporting the Product Business Show and letting us support you as well. Given all the events of the past week here in the United States and particularly in Las Vegas, you're near and dear to my heart. So I am so very, very touched. If you are coming online on Facebook, please type a comment. Let me know where you're calling in from today. Would love to know that. And we'll go ahead and get the recording started as well. So every other Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And it's our community service and our pleasure and absolute thrill to serve you with this. I've been doing the shows for about 6 years now. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on them. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about words and declaration inside your business. Particularly, I'll leave some time for some questions and things towards the end. So if you're on Facebook, I am watching the Facebook comments, so welcome. Type some things in there. Feel free to give hearts, shares, likes, all of them. We're ready as well. So with that, let's dive in and get started. So sorry, I'm finding myself really touched and moved today. And as many of you read in the email that I sent out this morning, the tragedy that happened in Las Vegas is just beyond horrific for so many people. And that said, it's going to be a little while. There are normal ways of thinking and ways of being. And so I wanted to let you know, first off, if you're hearing me or you're seeing me, you are loved. I'm so touched and honored that we get to serve you. And with that, I just want you to know or from the free show or anything like that, that if you can, please go contribute to support some families that are dealing with some severe crisis kinds of things. So let's now turn our direction to how do we create going forward, right? There's everything that happens, and then there's the how are we creating and what are we doing? And so I really I'm thinking about this a lot today, and really, really, really want to encourage all of you to make bold declarations inside your business. And by that, I mean the kind of declarations that actually scare you, that actually have you go like, holy crap, I'm not going to be able to make it if I do it the same way I've always done it for this goal. You want to actually have something that's so compelling and so juicy that you have to show up differently and be different and take different actions than you've ever taken before, because frankly, that's the best game in town, is to play your life that way. And when you watch all the recordings and the videos of anybody who's ever had a tragedy or a loved one pass or something like that, they're always saying they would want you to live, and they would want you to live fully, and they'd want you to really reach for your dreams. Well, that's what today is about, is how do you go on and make bold declarations in your business and in your life? And what's the context for that, right? Because it's the only thing you really have, because your life is going to unfold, and you have to actually make decisions if you want it to be different. and you have to take some actions too. So today's context is that words have power. Your words are creative. They're creating a reality and a vision and a view of how the world is to you, okay? They have power to call you up to who you're going to be and how you're going to show up, and for you to make that a choice. That's the great news. It's a choice. There's events, yes, but how you're responding to them is absolutely your choice. What I want everybody to do to hear this is, if you're able and in a safe place, I want you to close your eyes for a quick second. And I want you to practice two different phrases. I want you to experiment with us. So really, let's close our eyes, okay? And I want you to say, I think we can try to reach the goal. Okay, so just take a minute, get quiet, and say, I think we can try to reach the goal. I think we can try to reach the goal, right? Okay. Now, once you've done that a few times and you can feel how it feels in your body, I want you to say, I am clear we will reach the goal. I'm clear we will reach the goal. I am clear that we will reach the goal. Okay? And as you open your eyes, I want you to feel how each of those felt in your body, right? How they called you up or called you out. Because the reality is that that's what's happening every time you speak a sentence. It's creating a message for your body. So this, I think we can try to reach the goal phrase is so wishy-washy and lacks declarative commitment. So it will not call people up the same way that a positive action-oriented statement will. So this idea of using your words as declarative power, right? And creative power to call yourself up to something new, something different, and something vibrant inside your business is absolutely critical. The biggest example of this, right, is the President Kennedy, when he said, we are going to the moon in the next 10 years. And it organized all of the resources and ignites people. The same thing happens with your team, your staff, and your market, okay? When you make a declaration that calls people up to something fun and interesting and exciting and passionate, it calls resources to you. It pulls them in, right? And the certainty that you can muster for yourself behind the statement is absolutely critical. So let's talk about why that is. Declaration and the act of declaring will actually give you direction and energy for everything that needs to happen. You do not need to know how something will happen to declare it. I declare extremely big goals, and then I say, okay, that's the goal. What could we do to get there? How can we move ourselves towards it? And that reverse engineers the goal almost, right? So you see the goal as if it's done, and then you look at how you did it. It's a kind of a mind bend, but we'll talk a little bit more about it. So the other thing that declaring does for you is it draws resources, okay? So how many people have pitched their business to investors, right? Raise your hand. Figuratively here in our virtual world, if you've ever pitched your business to somebody, you have been in a declaration moment, right? Because when you pitch, you're saying what your business is going to do, what it's done already, and you're putting energy behind it such that people believe in you, right? So the power of declaration and boldness in your business is critical when you're doing pitching, okay? And this is going to be really important for people. I'm going to make a special announcement at the end of this conversation about declaration. And it's a way for you to get anywhere from $18,000 to $360,000 as a grant. Okay. So this idea of declaration is because when you're in declaration, you are are creating from a new place. Okay. And you're creating powerfully. So there's an exercise I want everybody to do for this week. And that is, I want you to pick a stretch goal. A stretch goal is one that you do not know exactly how it's going to happen, right? The things that you know how they're going to get done and you know what it's about, and it's not much of a stretch, aren't really what this is about. This is about creating from outside what you know in the direction of who you really, truly, authentically want to be and who you're meant to be in the world, okay? So this week, pick a stretch goal. And it's got to be something that you go like, holy, amazing goodness, that would be awesome, right? And it's not that it's necessarily done this week, but it's leading you towards who you want to be, okay? So all of that said, you got to write it out, okay? So pick a stretch goal, write it out. It could be, if you're in the film industry, that you want to debut a movie at a certain film festival, right? Or if you are launching a product, that you want to have certain endorsers, or that you want to make sure that you're able to follow the Tom's Shoes model of give one when somebody buys one. There's a million ways to set this up, but a stretch goal calls you up to be different, okay? To take different action and to be a new person, because reality is that who you are right now is not the person that's going to be on the other side of achieving that goal, right? You're going to grow. You're declarative statements that you can get behind. And I want you to say them 3 times a day, all week, okay? And when you're doing this, say it with as much conviction, emotion, and heart behind it as you can possibly muster. A thought train that moves in that direction, very, very other thoughts that will support you and other resources that will support you, all right? And I'm going to be using it today for some goals that I want to meet today. Okay, so you can use it for whatever time frame you want. I also have it for about a 5-year time period, right? So it goes from daily out to many, many years in the future if you choose to. I believe it's the Japanese culture or the Chinese culture, they actually plan their businesses for 100 years out. Think about that. Here we are, we're like, 5 years. No, there are cultures on this planet right now that the way they plan their business is for 100 years of impact and of legacy. And what do they want to be looking like 100 years from now? Think about that. Like, who does that require you to be, to throw yourself that far into the future in your business and bring it in? So it's a very, very, very enticing process. So I see we've got Bethany joining us on Facebook. So welcome. I'm glad you're loving this. When you are thinking about your words as declarative, powerful, and positive, then you watch your words differently, right? You're not going to casually throw them around and make idle commitments. No. Your words have power. They are creating a reality, and you are living into that reality every day, every moment. And so I invite you to really choose them, okay? With that, I'm going to open up the phone lines for some questions. I'd say we've got some people there. We've got people on Facebook. Ask a question or say hello, where you're calling from. What you're going to do is press *2, and that'll let me know that you have a question, okay? If you're on Facebook, just type the comment in the box, and I'm watching that. And so you'll see we've got Bethany joining us, just loving this, and some other people. So *2 if you're on the phone line, and if you're on the Facebook, you can just type it in. And then let's see, we've got a couple of questions on the webcast. Oh, Marie is with us on the webcast. Oh, so nice to hear you again too, Marie. It's been a very long time. I'm so glad you could join us. Marie and I met when I spoke, I think it was at the United States Patent and Trademark Office conference. I was talking about commercialization. So she's been working on her product for a long time. So Marie, thank you for stopping in and sharing part of the day. I really appreciate it. And so we're going to go back over to the conference line here. See, and okay, we've got more questions coming from the webcast. Great. All right. So here, let me see if I can get this question right. Marie, thank you. I see there's another comment. Oh, I love you too. You know, it's, I look at this as this community is our community. This is our space and our time. So let's see, there's another question. Got it. So Bethany's asking, she didn't quite catch the declaration challenge I issued. Did I say to pick one declaration and repeat it 3 times a day? Well, Bethany, let me run through a little bit of this again, because I know some other people missed it. So the context is that who you are and how you show up is a choice, right? And the bold declarations inside your business call you up to a larger version of yourself, to a larger version of your team, and it creates an excitement and a pull from here that adds momentum and energy to your team and to their actions, right? So the exercise, if you weren't with me when we were doing it, there's a quick one, and I want everybody who can safely do it, close your eyes and say, I think we can try to reach the goal. So I think we can try to reach the goal. I think we can try to reach the goal. Right? And feel how that feels. You know, so if you're somewhere and you need to type in an answer, feel how that, like, how did that feel to you? I think we can try to reach the goal. You know, I think we can try to reach the goal. Versus when you've got your eyes closed and you say, I'm clear we will reach the goal. I'm clear we will reach the goal. Or another version, if you really want to feel it, is I'm going to reach that goal. I'm going to reach that goal. I'm going to reach that goal. And then type in how that one feels. You know, when you tell yourself a positive statement, how's it feel? Does it feel more exciting? Type that in too. You know, it's a really, really important practice to stay aware of how your statements feel in your body. And I say this in the context of business because the messages that you speak to yourself are going to fuel the messages that you speak to your market. Okay. They're also going to fuel any message that you say when you pitch for a grant or you talk to an investor. And you can get yourself to the place where it's not a puffed upness, not like a, oh, you know, well, but just a deep knowing that the resources that you need, the steps that you're meant to take are going to show up to you. The people you're meant to work with are going to be around you. The people that are going to cheer you on are there, and that you're going to get there, right? That's the game, getting our energy aligned with it, okay? That's why boldness in your statements works, okay? And that's why boldness with conviction works even better. so intentional with it is what had it happen, right? That it inspired people to go like, whoa, okay, all right, that's where we're going, right? That's what you are inside your business, is you are a leader. If you are the founder, you are the leader, and everything in your culture of your company comes from you and stems from you and is created out of your words, commitment, and actions. Okay, so there you go. There's my little soapbox about this, but I've seen it to be true over and over and over and over in my own experience and in the experiences of some of the very largest businesses. And so it's a really important practice. So if you're on the phone and you want to ask a question, you can press *2, and that'll let me know that you've got a question. We'll open up your phone line. On the webcast, you can just type them in. And over on Facebook Live, I see we've got a bunch of comments coming in. So yeah, Bethany, that first version of I think we can try to reach the goal really doesn't feel very good, does it? It's kind of like, yeah, we'll get to it maybe. But I'm going to reach that goal feels like, okay, we're on the playing field. It's very empowering. You're right. And Ariane, the same thing. You're right. It is a place to come from about the goal. That's the biggest thing I can say. Positive, bold declaration is a place to come from about any goal that you want to reach. Okay. And so here's what I want everybody to do. Because Bethany, I know you were asking, what was the challenge I issued? The challenge is to write down one stretch goal that kind of gives you a little bit of like I don't know how I'm going to have that happen, but you're committed to it. And it sounds like that's who you want to be, right? And I want you to write it down. Just write it out. It doesn't have to be something for 1 week from now. It could be, the year from now. It could be 5 years, or you could adopt, I think it's the Japanese method where it's 100 years from now, this is what's going to have happened because you were here, because you were in this moment, because you were in this conversation, and you're willing to step into the biggest version of yourself. So write it out, whatever that stretch goal is. And then I want you to write 3 positive statements that you can get behind. Okay. And I want you to say them 3 times a day, every day this week. Doesn't matter if they're in the morning, at night. I like to do mine in the morning. And then I like to do it again in the middle of the day. Sometimes if I've got a little off track, I use them to true myself back up. And then I do them before I go to bed sometimes, because then they're with me for 8 hours and they become part of me a little differently. So write a stretch goal out this week. Write 3 positive statements you can get behind, and then say them 3 times a day, every day this week. And when I do this, my experience is I feel sparklier, feel more like more good comes into me. I feel more attractive to good in the world and to things that magically align in very, very different ways. Okay. So on the phone line, press *2 if you've got a question. I'm going to go to the webcast and the Q&A over there. Great. It looks like we are complete on the webcast. Atlanta, Illinois, New York, California, looks like maybe Canada as well, Texas, New Mexico. So there's quite a few people. I'm really excited to see that. And I'm really glad that we're able to join you on Facebook Live. For everybody who's been used to watching the webcast or listening to the webcast, there's a very good chance that we are going to go to just phone lines and the Facebook Live. Then I'd really encourage you to sign up for the list. Okay, we don't send a whole lot of email. We do send one the morning of the show and usually a few days before the show, letting you know what the upcoming topic is. So you can, on Facebook, I just put the link up. It's productstoprofits.com/business-show. So you can put that up and take that, go over to the website, sign up for this. And what I would really appreciate is if you can share the show out. Share it out to people that need to hear this for their product, that are busy kind of just namby-pambying around and they really need a little bit of support getting into movement. And then first and foremost, last, everything, get support for your business. You are not meant to be doing this alone. You are meant to be working with people that have done it before, that have been around the block, so you don't have to go through off the Grand Canyon cliff, okay? We've been doing product of world and have worked on products that have done $300 million in sales in 3 years, down to products that are, first year in sales, they do $1 million. We have clients that are licensing, selling their businesses, growing their businesses. It really is an important creative moment that you're in, and it deserves your time, attention, and your resources. So with that, everybody, I'm going to wrap for today. I'm just taking a look at the time. Remember, your words have power, and who you're choosing to be in the world is an example that other people are seeing. They're looking to you for vision and guidance, okay? So with that, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll talk with you in 2 weeks. Oh, for everybody who's on the reminders list, I'd really encourage you to pay Naisha just posted a comment. Yes. So, she's asking, are you going to mention the grant? Yes. So the way that we work is doing the grant program. It's called the Creator Awards. You do not need to be a member, so it's open to everybody. The regional for California and New York, the timeline, like I just said, is October 24th for submissions. They have 3 stages. There's incubate, launch, and scale. So incubate is, I think it's up to $30,000 as the upper end of the grant. And it's if you haven't really developed the idea yet for very much, right? So you're not in sales yet, you're pulling things together. Then the launch is if you're in the stage where you've announced it out to the world, but you're still learning and growing and you haven't quite figured everything out, but you're up and you are moving. And then scale is if you're in sales, you've got your system dialed in and everything's humming along and you need growth capital. And the scale grants, I think, start at $172,000 and go up to $360,000. So there are some details on our Facebook page. So if you're watching the Facebook Live, just scroll down. A couple days ago, I posted a link to that. You can go take a look at the information. And if you're on the phones, you can go to Creator, which is creator/wework.com, or watch your email because I'll send a quick message out probably tomorrow about them. You answer some questions, decide what category you want to be considered in, and then you have to do a 90-second video, right? So that's to get through as a finalist in the regionals. There's more information on the page. I personally think that every business should be doing it. And the good news for you is that most businesses won't bother to take the time. They'll think that someone else will win, and so they'll it's amazing how few submissions contests like this actually get. So with that, everybody, have a good rest of your day. I hope this has been helpful for you. And I just want you all to know you're near and dear to our hearts and you're loved. Jeff and I pray for all of our clients and for your success and happiness and health for you and your families every day. So with that, just go live boldly, right? Just bold declaration. Who do you want to be in the world? And go that direction. All right. I love you, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.
So everybody who's on the Facebook Live, thank you so much for joining us. And let me know what you think. We're trying some new things technology-wise. Post in the comments, how was the stream? Did it go well? And also, do you like the graphics? Do you like the ability to see us? We're looking at doing a new podcast and some other things. So just thought that we'd experiment. So Bethany, oh, thank you so much. What a really nice comment. I'm so glad that you could join us today. So receiving emails for some time, but today is my first time actually tuning in. Folding table risers. Nice. Sounds like they're good for people that are catering and other events, right? Really, really neat. And let's see. So Nisha, hopefully that, Nisha, sorry, I hope that you were able to make use of today and the grant information. I really think that everyone should be trying that. So let's see. Oh, okay. Bethany, for trade shows and demos. Nice. Well, with that, everybody, this is it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm Amy Winslow. This has been the Product Business Show. This is episode, I don't know how many, because we've done about 6 years of these now. So with that, just have a really great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.